Good morning. Love the Film Academy shirt. Yes, thank you. Actually, it's my wife's. She loves filming. She studied a short term in LA. I just wear her. I mean, for her, it's too big for her, the shirt, so I wear hers. How are you? Glad? Sorry. Okay, let's say something today about the Vimalakirti Sutra. You may notice recently I stick to or introduce some sutras because I found it's authentic. It's really inspiring, profound, authentic, and awakening. So Vimalakirti Sutra is one of it. Very complete and perfect. And answers and questions between a lay. They start the Vimalakirti Sutra is a Buddhist text which centers around a lay Buddhist meditator who attained a very high degree of enlightenment, considered by some second only to the Buddhas. Very or extremely influential in East Asia. The sutra teaches, among other subjects, the meaning of non-dualism. Non-duality, if you know Ramana Maharshi, Papaji, Muji, they are in the lineage of non-duality. So in Vimalakirti Sutra, there's a region of the non-duality. And yesterday I explained some non-duality, oneness. So non-duality is a negation, trying to explain the ultimate truth. Also, we can use affirmation, oneness, to express the ultimate truth. Give you a quick review that non-duality is, if the whole world is complicated and complex, contains huge different things, nature, society, human. Give you a quick example. If you go to Costco, the supermarket, you just stand in the center of Costco, looking at the items, human items. How many items are there in one Costco market? It's just one picture, small picture of how many things are there in the world, in the nature, in the reality. So people are lost in this complexity, of the world. But we can simplify it. And the non-dualism is the best attempt to simplify things into two things. You, the subject, and everything else is not you, the object. Make sense? You and everything that is not you. And in non-dualism, the boundary between the subject and object disappears. You are all that you perceive, experience, think. You are all that you can hear, listen, touch, smell. Subject and object are same thing, identical. It's not a thing, it's a field. So non-dualism, so beautiful. And I also said yesterday, oneness or non-dualism, non-duality is the final realization for any spiritual seekers. Meditation plays a role, but it's not a final realization. Again, the second paragraph, the sutra teaches, among other subjects, the meaning of non-dualism, the boundary between the awareness, the subject, and the contents of the awareness, the objects disappears. One, everything is one. In the Chinese Buddhism, we have a conscious only school. Consciousness is everything. It's all. There's all kind of a branch of non-dualism or non-duality. The doctrine of the true body of Buddha, Dhammakaya, the characteristically Mahāyāna claim that the appearances of the world are mere illusions. It's unreal. Now you're listening to me, seems so real, but fundamentally it's not real. It's not real, or emptiness does not mean that it does not exist. Illusions here mean that everything we can experience has no true self. They are impermanent. They are fleeting. The moment you hear my voice, it's gone. But the background, the silence, is always there. Let's go on. It places in the mouth of upāsaka, lay practitioners. So Vimalakirti is a lay meditator. So we are lay practitioners, right? Vimalakirti, a teaching addressed to both arhats and bodhisattvas regarding the doctrine of śūnyatā, emptiness. Emptiness, the core teaching of Buddhism. Emptiness or śūnyatā is not denial of experiences. It's just the insights into the experience from our six senses, including the sixth mind, the sixth sense mind. They are all empty because they don't have a true self. It has to rely on you, the true self. The insight to all phenomena world. So beautiful, so profound. If you really realize the meaning of śūnyatā or emptiness, you are free. You're liberated. You're awakened. You're awakened from the phenomenon world to non-phenomenal world, from human to being. from limited body-mind to unlimited spirit or being. You can keep reading, but I just picked some very, very important contents in this Wikipedia page. So if you look at chapter 1, at the end of chapter 1, one implications of this thing is that our Sahara world, we are in the Sahara world, the Buddha Sutra of Shakyamuni is in fact as glorious as other Buddha worlds, but our defilements prevent us from correctly seeing it as such. I totally agree that the Buddhahood or Buddha realm is right at this space-time. No matter which city you're living, what you're doing, it's right beneath all our activities. Now you're listening, I'm speaking. The Dhamma realm, the Buddha realm is underneath our activities. All this sharing is just unpeel the layers limited consciousness. Total naked mentally. You don't hold up or you don't stick to any concept. You're letting go every limited understanding. You are empty. You see chapter 2, Vimalakirti is a wealthy merchant householder, very much like us. He's a husband and a father, but also powerful bodhisattva with Buddha-like qualities. Very interesting here. He enters dens of iniquity such as gambling parlors, brothels, and haunts of philosophers of other schools. But even in doing so, he is merely appearing to conform with the ways of this world in order to bring sentient beings to realization of the truth. So, there's one thing subject to nothing. No matter your husband or wife, your daughter or mother, no matter it's a gambling parlors or brothels, no matter you have it's different philosophers of different schools, there's one thing that's subject to none of those things. And you are that. reading. Chapter 3, the Buddha successively appears to a string of his most advanced non-Mahāyāna disciples and also to 3 bodhisattvas and householder to visit Vimalakirti, because now Vimalakirti is physically sick. So Buddha sent a group of people to ask after his health. And they all refused, saying that on prior occasions, when they met with him, he showed them up in his understanding of various doctrines. For example, Vimalakirti bested Sariputra, if you know Heart Sutra, the very short sutra. The Sariputra is mentioned in Heart Sutra. He bested Sariputra on the topic of sitting in meditation by asserting that true meditation, listen carefully, true meditation is in fact a string of things bearing no obvious resemblance to meditation or meditator, such as having no body in the visible world, or abiding in a state of complete meditative cessation, normally held to resemble physical death to the unstrained eye, samadhi maybe, yeah, while at the same time engaging actively and perfectly in the niceties of monastic development. Very interesting, you see. Most people understanding meditation as a sitting meditation in a quiet room, doing nothing. I think all this sitting meditation is helpful, especially we start the path of awakening. But the true meditation is that you always have a meditative state of mind while you engage in everyday life. 以无所受，受诸受. So, you know, every experience you are experiencing now, or in every experience in the past, even in the future, are empty. So true meditation does not mean you're sit in a quiet room. True meditation more means that you can always have that insight when you are doing things. You know, every experience, every activity, physically, mentally, socially, collectively, are unreal, are empty. The experience are there, the interactions are there, like now. The interaction of listening and speaking, the body sensations, your understanding, the mental understanding and mental activities, right now, this moment, are there. There's no denial of the experience. But you know they are empty. They don't have a true self. That's called true meditation. Maybe we can go one more here. So chapter 3, the Buddha successively appears. Oh, no, sorry. Chapter 4, sorry. The Bodhisattva Manjusri. So Manjusri conventionally understood as embodiment of supreme wisdom. You see, Buddha tried different people to ask for the health of Vimalakirti, but all of them refused to do this job except Manjusri. Why? Because only Manjusri is capable in terms of wisdom. Because he's the embodiment of supreme wisdom. Manjusri is the teacher of all the Buddhas. At the end of chapter 4, Vimalakirti explains his illness in spiritual terms, equating it with the fundamental existential malaise of all sentient beings, according to his discourse. The true cure for all ills, the true cure for all ailments, is also spiritual, involves the achievements of states of non-self and non-dualism. I want to talk about the true healing is awakening. So awakening means you disidentify with the limited body and mind, non-self. If you don't identify with the body, and while the body is subject to birth, death, sickness, aging, all the kinds of pain in the body, then you're okay. You're totally free from all this birth and death, sickness, aging, pain of the body. Make sense? So the true cure for all ills, ailments, sickness is spiritual, involves the achievement of states of non-self. You're not the body-mind. You're not only the body-mind. You are the pure awareness that contains the body-mind. And the body-mind is just a temporal, a fleeting manifestation of who you are, of who we are. A frequency in the field, a sound in the silence, a ripple in the ocean, an entanglement in the voidness. A quantum fluctuation in the field. And it's going on and on constantly. That's a wisdom. That's the insight. You're in the world, but you're not of this world. The world and heaven, the boundary between the world and heaven disappears. The boundary between object and subject disappears. Oneness, non-duality, the ultimate healing. You're beyond birth and death. You're beyond good or bad. You're beyond appearing and disappearing. You're beyond black and white. You're beyond president or cashier in the market. You're beyond everything. You're even beyond every forces. Gravity, electromagnetic force, the fundamental forces. You're even beyond that, because all forces originate from the emptiness. If you look at that chapter 8, Vimalakirti's statement on the topic of silence, of wisdom or non-duality, is his famous silence. Which crowns the whole series of exchanges and is implicitly framed as the last word. Silence. Ramana Maharshi, the teacher of silence. The truth is beyond language. You see, no matter we are talking or we are not talking, we are listening or not listening, we get it or not get it, the truth is there. The truth is, always is, uppercase I-S, is, easiness. No matter we understand or not understand, no matter you're old or young, no matter the generation thousands years ago or this generation, the truth is. Okay, let's end this session in the silence of truth, easiness.